Just a quick reminder that amidst your amazing endeavor of learning Snowflake and mastering it, and also getting ready for your certification, know that on Love the Course, our course on Snowflake has all the materials that you're going to see in terms of videos, source code, and hundreds of certifications exam preparing you for the COF, CO2. Best of luck.
In this segment, we're going to talk about two of the most important items in any database. In a database, schemas are created which are logical groupings of tables. Tables contain columns. Tables and columns are low-level and the most important objects of any database. Snowflake provides the user two ways to create a table and corresponding columns using the interface and SQL query. In this segment, we're going to see how we can interact with the Snowflake user interface to create tables and columns. First, we're going to log it into Snowflake using our URL. Then we're going to click on the database button, which is on the top ribbon. Then we're going to click the database name. We can create a database, new table. It will navigate to database properties page where we can see tables, views, schemas, and more. Then we're going to click tables if it's not selected by default, where we can see the list of tables created in that database. Now we're going to click the create button to add a table. It will pop up the create table dialog box and we're going to enter fields. For the table name, we're going to enter test table. For the schema name, we're going to enter public. For the columns, we're going to click the add button and then enter the name, type, whether it's null or not null, or if there's a default value that goes into that field. To add multiple columns, we're going to keep clicking the add button and enter the details as shown. Once we're done, we'll click the finish button. Now we're going to see how to view tables and columns. We're going to look at how to view the details of tables and columns, how to create a like table, how to clone it, and how to delete a table. We start by clicking database, present in the top ribbon. This will display the view panel of databases where all the databases are listed. Then we're going to click the name of a database where the tables are present, for example, the test_db. It will display all the listed tables in that database. Now we're going to use the create button for creating a new table, or use the create like button to create a table that has the same metadata as an existing table. By clicking the create like button, the create table like dialog box will pop up. Enter the name of the new table and click on the finish button. In the view panel, we can see the new table, which in this case is table_test_1. We can use the clone button to create another copy of the existing table. To perform this operation, select the table and click the clone button. Clone table dialog box will pop up on the screen. This is where we enter the name of the new table and click the finish button. We can now see the new table in the view panel. The difference in clone and create like is the column data. Clone brings the actual data from the existing table, whereas create like copies only the metadata of the table. It doesn't copy existing data present in the table. We can delete a table as well by selecting the table and clicking the drop button. The drop table dialog box pops up the confirmation. We click yes for deletion, otherwise no. Now let's proceed to working on tables and columns using the Snowflake's SQL interface. Once we as the user start working on tables and columns, respective database and schemas become important factors. There are two ways to set up a database and schema details. One is using the Snowflake user interface and providing the database name and schemas. And of course, the second one is by using SQL command. For example, if running a select statement, we will type in select asterisk from database name dot schema name dot table name. In the user interface, the following steps are needed to be performed. We click on the down arrow present at the top right corner beside the select schema. That pops up a dialog box where we would provide the following details: the role, the warehouse, the database, and the schema. Now let's look at frequently used SQL statements as we try to set up the database, warehouse, and schema in SQL. We use the following query to set up a warehouse for a session. Type in use warehouse and then the warehouse name. And then we use the following query to set up a database for a session, which is type in use database and then the database name. And then we type in use the following query to set up a schema for a session, which is use schema and then the schema name. Now let's look at some frequently used SQL commands, such as creating tables, viewing table and columns, cloning tables, creating like, and even dropping tables. To create a table, it's a SQL command create table, database.schemaname.table-name, and then we enter the fields, data types, whether they're null or not null. Next, to view table and columns, it's show tables. To view the column definition, it's the describe command, which is describe and then table, and then database.schema, the table name. To clone a table or create like, we enter the create table and then database.schemaname.table original, and then into or clone what the new database.schema.table name is. To delete a table, it's drop table schema database.schema.table name.
Just a quick reminder that amidst your amazing endeavor of learning Snowflake and mastering it, and also getting ready for your certification, know that on Love the Course, our course on Snowflake has all the materials that you're going to see in terms of videos, source code, and hundreds of certifications exam preparing you for the COF, CO2. Best of luck.